I didn't know I'd gone live. I've been making a cuppa. Oh dear, we're a bit early then. We've got 5 in. 10 minutes early, never mind. Hiya everyone. Well, best put you on my stand. You've been watching nothing for the last 5 minutes. That's how tired I am actually. Hang on, let's put you on my stand. I was just getting ready for my live. Oh, what am I like? Let me just turn the TV off. It's a good job I noticed that there were people making comments. Oh dear. We've got 6 of you anyway. Well, I'm presuming people will start tuning in at around 3. So we'll just have a bit of a chat until then. What am I like? I am absolutely shattered actually. After a chandler last night, 1 o'clock before we got to bed, after we'd sorted out buggerlugs. Anyway, it'll give me a chance to look at me what I got up to last week, because I haven't touched it since last Friday. So I'll have a look. I won't start doing it until people get in, but it'll give me a chance to have a look. I know some of you have done the viewables, so I'm glad that some of you have made use of the pattern, and I know a lot of you have actually ordered and used the code, which was DES10. So afternoon, Jean, are you all right? Is it nice where you are? Are you in Somerset, if I remember rightly? It's not too bad here actually. We've just took Bruce out, and it's only his 3rd walk, but he's doing a lot better. Do you know what? We've got the biggest wuss going. He's scared of everything. Hiya Jude, how you doing? And we took him out for his walk, and amongst the pulling and tugging, he's actually getting a little bit better. Right, I presume I'm going to need pink thread. What colour was I using? Yes, indeedy, it was a pink. So I will explain why I'm a bit early, because I'm tired basically. I thought I'd just got the description set up and pressed done for the description, and then I've gone and pressed start. So we're actually filming, and I didn't know, and I went and made a cup of coffee. I could have been saying all sorts about you all. I wasn't, by the way, but well, I hope I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I enjoy my lives, as you know I do. I'm just gonna see if I've got a pink bobbin. Sure I should have. I've only just set my room back up after a chander yesterday. Oh, I haven't got the right pink, but I'll put that one in. Hiya Valerie. Well, I'm on 2 lots of antibiotics, so I haven't had the toothache since I went and started on the 2nd lot. So fingers crossed it's going to stay that way. Oh, I hope so, I really do. It's unbearable when it comes. I am a bit warm, but I have got the fluffiest sweatshirt on going. Afternoon, Liz. And Liz is saying afternoon to you all. I'm just going to get my threads out here and get set up. Yeah, I think that's the colour I was using. I shall just check. This is the problem when you start a project. Are you Pauline? And then you change. Yeah, that's the one. When you go on to do something else. I'm really looking forward to getting this skirt finished, especially with the, you know, the brighter weather. It's looking a little brighter out there. It's still chilly and very windy, but it's looking a bit brighter, which is what we all want. So that's ready. What time are we on now? Oh, it's still not 3 o'clock, so I'm still early. This is the first time I've done this though. I've not done bad ever. I have got some new fabrics that's just been delivered. But like I say, I'll just have a look at what we got up to and get this ready for. But I'm not going to start it until 3 because there's a lot of people. And we're actually thinking it might be a bit big, but I think that's just because I can see the side seams. When you took the side seams off, maybe it'll be all right. But I am liking it. I'm quite liking the pockets. If you remember, we did the, from Closet Core Patterns, we did the jean pocket design on there. So I'm quite liking that. Right, so we've got all the back done. I'll just put that to the side. A lot of you should have actually received the denim, so you maybe even starting your own. So we've now got the front pieces there. I'll get it all laid out, then I'll go on to doing the other things I was going to be doing. I stay stitched the waistband, I can remember doing that. So let's get the pattern out and see where I was. What's everybody else been up to? I've done all that. All that and that. Yeah, the next part is the skirt front. So I will need to get a zip. Hiya Mel, how are you doing? That's one thing I haven't got, so I will find a zip. I'm on coffee today. Say Mel wants to be in my video. I don't think she really does. Just going to look for a jean zip or a denim zip. Got a blue one. I think I prefer a black if I can find one. Oh, that's blue. I've got a black. Yes. I think I prefer a black one to a blue one. Hiya Hazel, how you doing? Hope you're well. Let's see what size zip I needed. I'm sure it'll be right size though. Pretty standard, aren't they? Fabric requirements, blah 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 blah. Matching thread. Jean zip, 5 inch, 5-inch jean zip. Or is that just for the mini skirt? 5 inch, that's short. Oh well, I might have to cut it down. Hiya Heather. I'm just reading Sarah Langmaid's just got back to me and we were talking about the PE design. Oh wow, okay. It's saying that I need to use a 5-inch, so just finished stack and wrap picnic blanket. Oh nice. Is that for yourself, Mel? For when you go on your picnics, you and Bob? Ah, picnics. Remember them. Let's see what size this is. This one's 7-inch, so I'm going to have to cut it down a good couple of inches. I don't really like cutting jean zips down, but don't really have an option. Not been sewing much, just got my machine back after a service. Oh, it'll be like, but to throw a knife now. How is fur baby behaving this week? Well, there we go, that's another story. Hiya Sarah. While I was chatting to you and that, I was getting set up and I weren't paying attention, so that's why I'm on early. So apologies to everyone. The little monkey, can you see that bruise there? That was another bite yesterday when I was trying to get my stuff ready for a chanda. But I do think he's getting a little bit better. He's very insecure for some reason, not with us, but with other things like noises and traffic, and basically he's a big wuss. The vacuum cleaner is very timid and he goes and hides under the, you know, the lift up chairs where your feet rest. He hides under those, which for a big dog it looks a bit pathetic, but there you go, we've got a big softie, which I would rather have a big softie. Yes, I have been making Christmas decorations. Oh, Jude, let's have a look. Show us your makes, as what the caller off of Bake Off would say. Joe. Can't think of a second name. Made a mess at cutting out the interfacing for the notebook stand. Well, you can actually join it, Hazel. Is it the stiff interfacing? Just zigzag it back together, so don't worry about that because you're going to be fusing it. So butt it right close together and zigzag over the top. If not, get in touch and I'll send you some more. But don't worry about that, you'll be able to sort it. That's one good thing about interfacings and foam and wadding. just butt them up to each other and zigzag over the top, making sure that they stay level, and you'll be fine. Yeah, it was. Hiya Patricia, and Patricia saying afternoon to you all. Right, it's almost 3, so I'm going to take you and we'll go through the fabrics that I've just had delivered. Yeah, try that, Hazel, but let me know if you can't get sorted. Anne. So I'm just going to move you forward a little bit. I'll do it gently, gently, gently. Oops, she says, knocking it out of the, or into my horn table. I'm fetching my coffee because it's going cold. Right, so that's my skirt that I'm doing now. Afternoon, Sarah. Right, so bits I've got to finish. So yes, I've had some happy mail today. I always like these. I can't remember what I ordered, so let's open it together. Just got 2 parcels today. It's only a small. We actually found out that one of the fabrics that we really wanted was back in stock, and they only sent me a very small roll last time, so oh yeah, that's it. So I placed an order for that straight away and added a few more bits to it. So there may be some new ones in here. You never know though until you open it. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Oh, I was so, that's one of them fell over. I was so tired. I really still am. It takes me 3 or 4 days after doing live shows at a Chanda to get over it. I don't know what, it's just live TV's really... Oh, look what we've got back in. We have got doggies. Doggies with crowns and everything, so yes, really happy about that. I'm going to open this one so you can see it. So I will be able to do some projects with it now I've got enough of it in. I think I hope I've got 2 rows. Hopefully Mark will get these on the web, or they will already be on the web. So that one is the... I have to go now, Ali. Hope to see you soon. We'll post picture. Yes, please. Not my favourite one, which is why it's a beanie blanket. See you later, Mel. Take care. Can't wait till we can all get together again and have a coffee in a bun like we used to. Yeah, so that is the dogs, the John Loudon dogs. I think it's Party Dogs it's called. Very apt. So that one's back in stock. Pleased about that one. Then we have some more of the sparkle fabrics in emerald this time. Emerald's a beautiful mixer. So that is the emerald one. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love that. Can you imagine doing like grass or trees with that? It's absolutely stunning. So we've got the green. And another one in here. See how careful I am? I do keep these bags. I only rip the top off and slip down the sides, and we can use them for garden rubbish and things like that, because they're very strong bags. Right, I've got another blender. Oh, I like this one. Not sure if this one's a sparkle one. Oh, it is. It certainly is. So this one is the gold. I think that's going to be a lovely blender as well. That's in the gold with the sparkle. Is it sparkle they call them? Glitter? Is it glitter? Tins? No? I can't remember. Anyway, that is the sparkle one in gold. They went so well the last lot that I thought I'd best get some more. I'm going to try and get the full range in as funds allow. Oh, this one's a bit bigger. Yeah, I like that as well, Pauline. few more bolts in this one. See, it was just one that I had to rush through yesterday, and I was doing my write-up, so I didn't get a chance to have a proper look at what they've got in. It was nice to work with Leonie again yesterday, though. I really like Leonie. Oh, I did get another one of the dogs. The grey sparkle I got from you is great. My pink stretch denim is gorgeous, and the pattern arrived just brilliantly. We're going to be doing that in a second, just when I've got these out. Yeah, I did get another of the party dogs, so we've got plenty of that in. Look at this. Makes your mouth water. Oh, and they give me a nice big roll. Oh, I need a dress in this. I need a dress in this. Can you imagine? Nice summer dress. It does actually make your mouth water. Sipping a gin and tonic by the hot tub in a beautiful dress. Perfect. Love it. Not sure what that one's called, but obviously you can see it's something to do with citrus fruits. I've got a different design. This one's the same designer, but it's a different print. And I really like this one. Let's see if I can get this off. I ought to apologise to you now in case I do anything wrong today, because I am absolutely exhausted. But I still want to do it because I want to get the skirt done. It is fresh looking, I agree, Patricia. And then this one is, it's like wild animals, fruit gums. Oh yeah, remember fruit gums? And they've got lovely little hedgehogs and deer and rabbits, raccoons. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and with those delicate pink roses, it just seems to make it more feminine. It is very cute. I love that. I'm not sure what that one's called. Let's see if it says on here, not on that end. That one is oh, it doesn't say. Multi-Karma. I don't know if that's the name of it, but that's what it says on there. And then last but not least, we have some more of the Northern Lights in. This one's been the top seller and just very low, so we've got some more, another roll of the Northern Lights in. So there you go, that's my latest fabric haul. English paper, yeah, perfect, Pauline. Oh, you got my mind wandering out. I was doing that in the green room last night. Really love English paper piecing. It's one of my faves. Yeah, so this is the Northern Lights back in stock. Makes brilliant linings. So that's what we've got new in. And if anybody is interested, get over to the website. As soon as I've finished doing the live, I'm going to be trying to get the web orders out. By the way, if anybody ever has any problems with the ordering on the web, because I know a couple of people have had to ring me this week, just get in touch and I will do the order over the phone. That's not a problem at all, and I will still apply the discount codes. Right, coffee finished, back to work. So let's get back to sewing. I will just lower the stand down. It's that one actually. There we go. I'm new to it. I saw that at night and watched TV. Brilliant, Pauline. You know, whatever time you get is perfect for you. Right, so I'm just going to put my little home side table up. I've got my instructions. So the part we got up to was that back bit, which we've got finished. So now we're moving on to the finish the curved bottom on the pocket facings with the pocket bags right side up. So we've got to find the pocket facings, which is these bits. And Margaret Rose Robson is saying hi to everyone. Margaret, Mark forgot to post your parcel out. He's going to take it to your house. So I'll try and get him to do it this afternoon if you're in. Because I don't want to be back and forth to the overlocker, I'm going to do it as if I haven't got an overlocker, which I think is pretty good for some of you out there who haven't got an overlocker. So you could see how you would do it if you don't have one. And I'm alright with that. So I'm going to put this aside and I'm just going to finish the pocket edges. So basically that just means this curve here. So I'll put that piece aside and I'm going to put it onto a zigzag stitch. I changed my needle yesterday. You can see I've got my notches marked on here, so that's already done. So if you don't have an overlocker, and this is how I started out with sewing, just zigzag your edges. In fact, when I first started, I didn't used to finish my edges, and it was like quick fashion then. And I worked in a sewing factory, and I used to go out on a Friday night with my friends, and I used to come home on a Friday afternoon. We finished early on a Friday, and I'd go to Barnsley Market and buy bits of fabric, remnant pieces, and I'd go home and I'd make something up, and I wouldn't finish any of the seams. But because it was so cheap to do it that way, you know, the remnants were very cheap then on Barnsley Market, I never bothered that I hadn't finished the edges. But I quickly learnt that if you're going to be spending the time making something, then you may as well make a professional job and finish your edges properly. And it's going to last a lifetime rather than just wear it once or twice. But to be honest, because I could make something so quick, I used to go around the shops, go into Topshop and Dorothy Perkins and all those, Charlie Girl, I remember that one, and just see what was new and then go home and make it. And I think that was my best learning skills, was doing that, just seeing what were out there. So I've gone around the bottoms. Those were the days, Valerie. Did you ever go to Barnsley Market? It was quite famous for its markets. Right, so finish the curved bottom edge under pocket facings with the pocket bags right side up. I presume these are the pocket bags. Right side up. These are my K Facet pocket bags. Right, just stop now. Right, so with the pocket bag right side up, lay the pocket facings over them. Is that right? Oh, I know, yeah, over them. Also right side up, matching notches on pin in place. Stitch them together around all sides of the pocket facings. Not sure that looks right. Is it? Oh, I see. Right, so that means that notch there, we're going to put that one to, and that notch there, we're going to put that one to. But should we have finished the pocket edges? Let's see what the next step is. So then we're saying fold each pocket bag in half, right sides together, bringing together the side seams, press the fold, pin together on the edge. Right, that makes sense. But we've got raw seams. Ah, no, it doesn't go there, does it? That goes there, and then that goes... Aha, got it. I think I have it. That goes there, and that goes there, is that right? And then that folds over. This is how I work things out. That goes onto there, and that goes onto there. Is that how it goes? So you're folding the bottom half over. I've not done this myself, so it's a first for me as well. What I'm trying to do is Finish the curved bottom edges on the pocket facings. Now that looks like that's laid on top of the pocket. I've got it laid wrong way. Sorry, it's this one. We'll get there, but if I can do it like this, got it. Lay that one on there. And when you fold it in half, you match those up. Yeah, that's it. We've got it, by golly, we've got it. Right, so what we're doing is lay the pocket facings over them, also right side up, matching notches and pin in place. Stitch them together around all the sides of the pocket facings. Right, well the pocket facing was the denim one. So we're putting that onto there and we're stitching all the way around all those pieces. So I'm just going to put it onto a straight stitch. Do you all do dressmaking? I am new to it. Sharon Williamson's asking, do we all do dressmaking, or do some do bag making, do some do just quilting? I think everyone on here, Sharon, does a little bit of everything. And I know sometimes quilters get a little bit scared of doing dressmaking, but to be honest, I think if you can quilt, you can do dressmaking easy, because you have to be a lot more precise with your quilting than you do with your dressmaking. So I'll lace the pocket on the side, not lefty ways. A little bit of everything, Jack is saying. I do appreciate you showing us. No problem at all. It looks like that's right. Right side up, and then you take this over. Let's just see what the next step is, just in case I am doing it wrong, but it does look right to me. And then you put your front skirt over the top. So yeah, I think it is right. I think so. Does it not look right? Somebody tell me. So I think that's right. We shall soon see. I'll just follow it to the letter and see what it says. I do things wrong, as you all know, frequently, very frequently, especially when I'm tired, like starting my life 10 minutes early, long ways. I think it is, well, it's width ways now, isn't it? It was long ways, but it didn't fit, and this one does. When I put that over there, it's what it looks like in the pattern, so I'm thinking it's right. It certainly looks it. If you look at the next step, that's this one. The next step is folding that over, and then we're going to stitch around it. So fold each pocket bag in half, right sides together, bringing together the side seams. Press the fold, which is that fold, pin together along the lower edge, matching notches, stitch, trim, and finish the seam allowance. So I believe that's all we're doing at the moment. So I'm going to match that notch there with that one. So let me get my pins. Excuse my arm. Sorry, late again. Don't worry about it. What's on the work desk today, please? Joyce, today we are finishing off the denim skirt. Don't worry, Sandy. It's not a problem whatsoever. And the denim skirt that we started last week, I'll just put my iron on because I've not turned it on yet. And we've been showing some new fabrics. So if you want to see the new fabrics, you need to go back to the beginning of the live. So I'm just lining up these pieces here, and what I have to do is stitch down here, but I have to press that seam there. And then I have to do the same on the other side. I don't think I have to do the side seam yet. So I'll let my iron warm up. So I think that's right as it is now. I'll just put a pin at this side here. I do tend to use pins more in dressmaking than I do in anything else. But that looks right to me, as it does on the picture. So I'll do the opposite side. So just in case just move it out of the way. Anybody was a bit confused as I was. What we're doing is we're laying the piece down, getting the pocket facing, laying that right side up as well, on top of the pocket facing, and we're going to stitch all the way around to hold that on top. No problem, Joyce, you're very welcome. You can watch it afterwards. I just think it's nice to actually feel like we're actually having a chat. So I'm just following that around the curve. I mean, I could have got this pattern out and had a look in between shows, but I want it to be as you would find it, you know, at home. So that's it, that one. So just matching up those notches there. I'm going to pop a pin in there. And then we're going to stitch the bottom edge together. And then we've got to press that fold. Oops. Didn't like sewing right at the end then. So that's the second one done. That's the part I like the company. Me too, Joyce. You feel like you're actually having a catch up with somebody and maybe going out for a coffee, you know, even though you're not, you feel like you have. You actually feel like you've been sociable and interacted. Right, so I'm just going to get the pocket bags now and I'm going to press this fold here. And obviously we're all like-minded people, so that's good. I think that was the only bit I needed to press at the moment, but I'll just give it a once over because it's been in my new viewable bag. There we go. Thank you, Jane, for putting us onto that. So that's one side. Just the other side to do. I'm hoping this is right. Somebody's probably screaming at me, no, it's not right. You're going to be unpicking in a minute. And then that is the other one. So that's going to be the both sides. So now what do we do? Let's have a look in my little booklet. Next, the pocket bag with the facing attached to the left goes with the front skirt with the curved pocket opening on the left. So that's these two here. So that's the one on the left. So you can see the cutout there is on the left. I know it's not on your left, but it is on mine. Good show in a Chanda. I ordered tablet stand. Which one did you order, Sandy? Did you like the, what did Leonie call it? Ouch, boom. I don't know what she called it, but she got it all wrong, bless her. Can't say I blame her though. I think I would be. The pocket bag with the facing attached to the left goes to the left. I think that's what they're saying there. So I think they're saying that goes there. Ah, I think that goes like that. It does make sense now, and then you turn it, yeah. Aha, got it. Don't worry, Margaret, it's not a problem. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, Margaret. Repeat with your pocket front. So we have to pin them together along the curved pocket matching seams. Trim the seam allowances, repeat with the other pocket bag. And then I think we're going to be folding it back. Yep. I do actually read the instructions, but I skip through them and then go back to them. So what I can deduce from this is you're going to take that pin out. You're going to open this up here. And you're going to place the curved parts together, right sides together now. And we're going to stitch around there. So I'm going to do a back tack. I think you'll find that if you're doing it with this denim that I'm using, with having some stretching, you should get a really nice result. I'm hoping so, because I want to do the jacket next. I had blue sewing one. Oh, I thought, have you got a matching set of everything, Sandy? So that's what I've done so far. I wonder if you need to notch it. It just says press it away. So let's see if it will. If it doesn't fold nice and flat, it might do with it being, whatchamacallit. No, I'm going to snip it. I would say it might do with it being stretched, but it's not. So what I'm going to do is just put some snips around the big curve there, and it will just help it to lay flat. So I'm snipping, but I'm not snipping through the stitches. The stitches are there. So when I turn that round now, I do like that pink with it. You can see that's lying a lot flatter. So I'm just going to give that a quick press. Oh, you got all the matching ones. It does look lovely. You can't see from here, but I've got my blue sewing one. I'll show you on my sewing table. I've got a pink one on my computer, and I've got a dog one in the house, and I've got a blue sewing one at the side of my bed. So I'm just pressing this seam. And I think this is one of the parts that's going to be shown and used quite a bit. So make sure you do a really good job of pressing this one. So then you can see you've got that lovely neat press there. I presume you're going to be top stitching and then maybe riveting as well. But for now, and then that back bit, that goes like that then, and that becomes the pocket there. So you can see how that goes. I'm going to order out direct from you, the foam one. Brilliant, thanks Lynn, I do appreciate that. Obviously, as a small business, it's a lot better for us if you order from us rather than the big companies, but we do have to have some sales from the big companies as well. So we do need a balance of both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to try and show you how I did it. Sorry I'm late. Skyman just gone. Oh Vicky, you were having some problems, aren't you? I hope it gets your internet sorted. So I'm taking this pocket bag here and I'm laying it right sides together with that curve there. And we're going to stitch around the seam here. Your pussycat blouse looked good on a Chanda yesterday. It was very comfortable, Valerie, thank you. And I did enjoy wearing it. And I felt like I was dressed up, but I didn't. I looked like I was dressed up, but I didn't feel like I was too dressed up. So yes, I thought it would be nice to show you, you know, the one finish, because I did that one, but I didn't actually show you it on. And I wore it with the black BB skirt, the plain one that I made, and it's really comfortable. You have to be comfortable when you're sat in green room. Because I did some extra filming before I went, before I went on air, I filmed a tutorial for YouTube, so I had to be there at 3 o'clock. So I was actually there from 3 o'clock until 10 o'clock, and then we had a 2.5 hour drive home, so it makes it a very long day. Change from Talk to Sky. We'll give you my order later. Brilliant, Vicky. It's like I said to you, I have a separate internet provider down here, because when I first started doing my lives, the internet kept going, it kept freezing. So that's why we invested in having a separate internet provider just for down here. So I know that the Wi-Fi is strong enough to be able to do it now and run all my gadgets. I can't believe I'm getting into all these gadgets like I am. My daughter's trying to convert me to do TikTok and things. She's brilliant at it. She was telling me yesterday she's got 600 and something thousand followers, and I've got 4,000. But that's a lot for me. You know, I'm not a 24-year-old techno savvy person. So just pressing that back there, And then how it works is the side comes up, you match those notches and that one together there. That's where the side one goes, so that makes your skirt. Liking this, liking it. So let's see what's next in our little booklet. It was nice how you mentioned your Facebook Live and your ladies. Obviously, Joyce, I'm very proud of this group that we've made between us, and that's why I like to offer you special offers and things. Also, one of my friends said, why don't I put the description on this stand or on my table, you know, of the codes? And I thought, how will I do it, because it appears backwards to you? But then I thought I could do it on my scan and cut and reverse it. So whenever I've got more offers for you, I will do that. Also, as I said on a channel yesterday, I've got a lot of kits that have been made up and samples, and I've decided that I'm going to auction some off and sell some and donate the money to Sheffield Scaboo, the neonatal in Sheffield, because that's where Robin had a lot of her operations and a lot of care. So watch out for some of the kits, or not kits, completed projects and samples that fabric's gone from. They will be coming onto Facebook, and if you're interested in buying any, they won't be expensive. You'll certainly get your money's worth with them, but I will be donating it to charity. So right, next, press the pocket bag and seam allowances away from the skirt. Understitch the bag to the seam allowances close to the pocket. Right, that makes it stop from rolling. Press the pocket bag to the wrong side of the skirt, rolling the seam slightly to the wrong side and pin in place. With the skirt right side up, edge stitch the pocket bags to the skirt and then 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So they are doing the twin needle sort of thing on there, but they're going to understitch first. So to understitch, press all these seams to the lining like that, and then we're going to stitch as close to the edge as we can on there, and that is understitching. So you open it all out, lay it as flat as you can, and just to the side of the fold we stitch just one line of stitching. So just taking it steady, and make sure that all the seams, because we have snipped it, just keep checking underneath and pushing them away to the pocket bag lining. Open the seam out and stitch all the way along. Understitching is good for necklines, underarm seams, on sleeveless dressing, things like that. So when I show you that, you can just see that row of stitching there. So when you fold that back, it stops it from rolling forward. Oh, I'm glad you think so, yeah. I don't want to make money for myself out of them, because, you know, they've served the purpose to me, and I just think if the children's charities can benefit, then yay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the the skirt back under, and I'm going to go on to the triple stitch, because that's what we did for the top stitching on the others. And right on the very edge, I'm triple stitching. And this is why projects like this take a lot longer, but why you get a more professional finish. I can tell you there's some really useful things that we're going to be selling off as well. Some of them are the companion sets, and they are really, sorry, a little late. We'll have to do catch up. Not a problem, Jill, not a problem. So you can see on that one I've stitched right next to the seam, and now I'm going to stitch again about 1/4 of an inch away on there. Again with the triple stitch. I'm trying to keep to that on all the top stitching so that it looks all coordinated. we go. So that's what the pocket now looks like. Just ordered, sorry late, just finished work. What are we making today, please? Great shows yesterday. Thanks, Sue. Today I'm finishing off that denim skirt that we started last week. I've shown some new fabrics, so if you want to go and have a look at those new fabrics, you can do. And at the moment I'm just doing the pockets on the front of the skirt. So I've just completed one. Could you do that between, you could do it between needle lane. I would get a 6mm wide one rather than the really close together, but you can get them. I think I've got some here, let me show you. Yeah, what's this one? That's a 4, but you can see the difference. Right, so that one is, that's a twin metallic needle. This Schmetz these, so that's a twin metallic, so if you were doing fancy stitching with metallic threads. And that one is a twin needle, that's a stretch one, that's 4mm apart. That wouldn't look too bad, but the 6 I think just gives that little bit wider. But you can get hold of these. That's a prim one, the stretch one, and the metallic one is a Schmetz. Always use a good quality one when you're wanting to do things like this, because you want it to go through quite a few layers of denim, and especially if you're using metallic threads. But whenever you go and you find needles like this, get hold of them and just have them in your stash, because they're handy to have for these different projects. Right, so going back to the opposite one, this one now needs the understitching. So again, we make sure the seams are towards the lining. Make sure they're all nice and flat, and we're going to stitch as close to the seam as you can, or just in a normal stitch, not a triple stitch. Keep putting your hand underneath, because we did snip for the curve, and hold it out flat and just stitch all the way around that pocket. So when I hold that out, you can see this, the row of stitches there just onto the lining, and that stops that lining from rolling onto the front. Got a 4mm. Yeah, give it a go, Lynn, definitely. Especially with this. Stephanie, if you got a hold of the denim that I've got here, it's got a nice stretch and it's not too thick. I'd say it were perfect for this sort of project. So now I'm going to go back in and I am going to top stitch. So I'm going to go back onto my triple stitch, and I'm going to top stitch right on the edge, and then I'm going to do a 1/4 inch away. It's probably a lot easier to do it in one go, and you know that they're going to be consistent if you do it with a twin needle than doing it separately like I am. But you could do some lovely designs with different threads, and especially on the pocket, the back pockets, you could do some lovely design with your twin needle. So that one is the one row. I'm now going to do another row just on the inside, again with the triple stitch. Take it gently around the curve. And there you've got your top stitch skirt. What size there? Oh, somebody's answered that. Thanks, Anne, for answering that for me. Right, so that's the pockets done. Let's see what the next step is. We've done all that. Press the pocket back to the wrong side of the skirt, rolling it, we've done that. Edge stitch. Pin the pocket bags to the front skirts at the waistband seam and side seams matching notches. stay stitch with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So I'll put it back to my normal stitch length, and what I've got to do now is put the, show you this way, it'd be easier. You'd be able to put it down flat onto your desk, so that makes it a bit easier. So we now need to make the side seams there all match. So I'll pop a pin there, and at the end that will hold that nice and flat. It's hard to do it holding it up, but remember we stitched at the bottom of the pocket bag there. We now need to place that onto the bottom, and on the top where the waistband's going to go, we need to do the same. So we've got the folded seam there, so we need to, I'll do that from the front because we need to cover up the pocket bag. So we're just going to cover that up like that, and pin at the top, and that gives you your pocket with your K facet fabric inside. So I'm just going to stitch that in to hold it, and it's just stay stitching, so it's just a normal stitch. And same on the side seam. Take the pin out. So I'm just doing it at the side of the seam allowance, sorry, the overlapping. And that's what the pockets are now going to look like on your skirt. So that's one pocket done. Now for the next one. So because I held that one up and showed you, I will lay this one down flat, and it should be a bit quicker to do. So lay it down flat, make sure the pocket lays flat and there's no pull on your pocket inside your pocket lining. There we go. Give that a pin. Same on your front. Pin the top. You just need to make sure that you can't see the facing there. It makes sense when you see it come together then, doesn't it? So just top stitch stay stitch the top one. Take the pin out. Do you ever get a pattern you can't work out and then not doing it your way? Yes, lots of times, Joyce. A lot of patterns, if they look quite simple, I don't even read the instructions. And when I do read the instructions, I find out they've done it a different way. So, yeah, a lot of times. And there's a lot of times I really struggle to interpret the instructions because we all see things in different ways, and I'm sure people find that with mine as well. You know, the way I describe it wouldn't be the way somebody else does, and one person can understand it very clearly and another one can't. So it depends on the person. So that's both the pockets done. I think we're now going on to the zip. Yep. Now, if you are worried about doing the zip, it just said watch the video on installing the zip at tillyandthebuttons.com nest skirt. She's really good at sorting out if there's any problems. So I think I'll be all right. I've done them before, so I've not done them her way, but she's usually very good. So what we need to do is stitch with a 40mm, just under 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Oh, I ain't done what it says first. Pin the long straight edge of the zip facing to the centre. Excuse me. So finish the curved outer edge of the zip facing. Let's get that done first. Right, where's the zip facing? Then the waistbands. I presume that's my zip facing. It looks like it. So we're going to finish this edge again because I've not got an overlocker to hand. I'm just going to do that with a zigzag. So I'm just going to trim off the interfacing. it's good to know that there's somebody there to hold your hand if you get a little stuck, and you can watch the video. So if I were just doing this without filming, I would have overlocked it on the overlocker. But because I'm filming, I'm just going to... The thing is, Sharon, just give it a go, because if you try and follow it step by step, you should be okay. So that is the fly front, and it says finish the centre front opening on the right front. I've done that on the overlocking. Do the same on the left front skirt. I've done that. Pin the long straight edge of the zip face into the centre front of the left front skirt. So the left front skirt is this one. So it would be on my left as I look to it. So pin the long straight edge. Yeah. We've got a notch there, so I'm presuming that's what we need to line up. Pin the long straight edge of the zip face into the centre front of the left skirt, right sides together, lining up the short straight edge with the skirt waistland. Right, so the short straight edge is this one, so we're lining that up with the top. Pop a pin in. The long straight edge is this one, so I will pop a pin there. So that's what we're doing with that one. And stitch with a 14mm, just under 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. The extra fabric will provide a teeny overlap once the fly is finished. So we're going to stitch that in place with a 5/8 of an inch, just short of. So what I can do is turn it that way. I've got a 5/8 of an inch mark on my machine, and most machines have that because it is a typical dressmaking seam allowance. And take my pin out. I need my needle in the centre, which it is now, and I'm just going to, actually I'm going to do a smaller stitch because this is on the zip, you want it to be strong. So I've put my stitch length to 1.7, and I'm just watching the seam allowance as I stitch. I think for things like zips, you've got to be accurate, especially jean zips. So watch your seam allowances. You can see that's quite a big seam allowance on there. What is it saying now? Press the facing and the seam allowance away from the skirt, understitch them together. So that means we're going to fold that back, and we're going to understitch there. So I'll just give it a press. Oops, put my foot down. Sorry if you can see my big butt on screen. So that's just pressed all that to the facing side, and we're going to understitch. Understitching, as I told you before, is just laying it all down flat, and I'll put it to a normal size now. You can see that's now understitched, so when we fold that back, it stops it from rolling to the front. So the next bit is, if you do it like this in little chunks, you should be fine. Fold the facing back towards the wrong side and press well to create a good crease. So that just means folding it back to the wrong side, and we're going to press that seam there to give it a nice crisp finish. Yep, so that's that done. So next, for the mini version, well, I'm doing the knee length version, so I'm not doing the mini. Pin the skirt fronts together along the centre front seam, right sides together. Stitch from the zip marking to the split marking, back tacking securely. Right, so if you're putting this split in, you need to leave that open. So what we're doing is we're putting these right sides together. You can see the notch there, that's where they mean to stitch from. So open that up. And we're going to start stitching from that notch mark. You can just see it here. So I'm going to put a pin there, and I've got a split mark, a notch there. So I'll put those two together and put another pin. So that's where I know I'm stopping. I hated the thought of putting a zip in, but once you do it, you won't look back. Even enjoy. Yeah, definitely, Joyce, because you know you've achieved something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch from that mark there all the way down to that mark, giving it a good small stitch. Again, I'm putting it down to 1.7 because obviously when you're bending and things, although this has got some stretching, so it won't be as bad, it's going to take a bit of hammer. So I'll just line those up. There we go. Start stitching. So I'm going to back tack, and we will be putting some bar tacks on as well, and some rivets to make it even stronger. So it does take quite a while to go down all the seam when you've got a tiny stitch, but it will make it a lot stronger. To where your slit's going to be, take that out. You've got that there, and I've back tacked at the bottom. And then we are going to press the seam allowances and split open, top stitch around the split. Right, so I'm going to put it back onto my triple stitch. So what we're going to do is open the skirt out, and we're going to press this seam open. I will stand up to do this because it's quite a long seam allowance. So just pressing it open all the way. Move it up, and I'm going to press those seam allowances on the split so that I know that they're going to stay in place. So it looks like it would have been stitched, but it's actually not. Because we want to make a good job of the split opening. There we go. So what I've done is I've pressed the seam open, and I've pressed the folds back on the split. So I'm going to open that up, and from the right side, so I can see where I'm going, just get rid of them threads, slip them off. I'm going to top stitch around the slit. So I've got my triple stitch on, but I'm going to put it back to a 2.5. And I'm just, oh, we've got somebody to see you. Oops, it's not triple stitch, I forgot to change it. Do we want to see a puppy? Let's show you.
Very smelly.
It is very smelly. Oh, oh my word. We're not going to be able to do this for much longer. Say hello, Brucey. Here's Brucey. Yes. Hello. Hello, baby. Oh, he's smelly. Oh, he's a big boy. Do you think he's grown much? What are you doing? I'm looking at my dad here. Look into the camera. Margaret's saying, hi, beautiful. And she's also saying, hi, Mark, will you bring my parcel?
We are too.
He is gorgeous, but he's a little monkey.
It's here, Mark.
He's...
It's right here, Margaret.
He is going to drop it off this afternoon for you. What a snuggle bug. Oh, Valerie, he really is, but I'll try and get it so you can see him properly. Did you see how much he's grown? Yeah, he's lovely. And yeah, even though you bite me, you're lovely. Butter wouldn't melt. Yeah, do you want to take him back up?
Yeah, I'll take him back.
Come on then, big boy. Oh,
Come on, Babylon.
he has grown, Sue. He has.
Oh, come on. Come on, Fatty.
Back to the sewing. Sorry about that. Right, so I was just doing the slit and I forgot to put the triple stitch on, so I will just go over that where I stitched. I think I will do a one on the just on the inside as well. Oh, thanks, Valerie. A handful, definitely. Yes, a handful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go past the point where I stopped sewing on the seam, about the same width as my seam allowance, so that it looks, yeah, that's about right. So when I go across the top, I'm not just hitting at top of the point. And I'm guessing the same seam allowance for the other side. Turning round, oh, that's good. Keeping it nice and straight, going down the opposite side. And for this, I'm just lining it up with the foot. So like I said to you, it does take a longer time to do this, but it does make it look really good. So now I'm going to just go, hiya Christine, on the very edge of this skirt, and it will match all the other top stitching that we've done then. Also making it a lot stronger, because where there's a slit in your skirt and you're bending down and lifting things, obviously the point of the most stress is where the stitching stops on the seam. So by doing a double stitch and a triple stitch length, that should really give it some strength. So I'm going right up to the point where the stitch has stopped, rotating, and then coming down the other side. Yeah, I like that. You can also top stitch along all the seams and make it look like flat felled seams. Right, so if you look now, we've got the start of the zip on there. We've got the pockets done, and the front split is now done with 2 rows of stitching all the way around it. So what's next in my little book? Next we're going on to the zip. For all versions, fold the zip guard in half. What is my zip guard? Where is my zip guard? What is my zip guard? Aha! I take it this piece on the floor is my zip guard. Right. Fold the zip guard in half, right sides together, bringing together the long edges. Yep, so that's that way. Long edges together. Stitch together the short bottom edge. Okay, oh no, it's wrong sides together. No, right sides together. It is right sides together. Bringing together the long edges, stitch together the short bottom edge, trim the seam allowance and snip diagonally. Right, so I'm going to do this with a normal stitch, but a shorter one. So it's telling me to trim the seam allowance and snip diagonally across the corner at the stitch fold. So that's there, snipping across the corner there. Fold the right side out using a pin or point, turn it to neaten the edges, press and finish the unstitched long edges. Right, so the long edges is this one, so we need to press it, right, so wrong sides together. There we go, and finish these edges. So again, I'll use the zigzag, seeing as I don't want to get involved in the overlocker at the moment. I don't want to keep moving you, so it's a lot easier to do it this way. So a zigzag stitch will do fine. So that's just going to hold it all together. And next, lay the zip guard out with the finished edge on your left. So finished edge there on your left. Lay the zip on top, right side up. I wonder if I'm, let's have a look, where's my zip? Because I haven't got a 5-inch zip. I've only got a 7-inch. So I wonder if I'm better off letting the bottom go out or cutting it off at the top. I think I'll let the bottom. So I am putting my zip right side up, the teeth 15mm from the finished edge, and the bottom stop 15mm from the bottom of the guard. I wonder if I could sew it across and cut it off. Dare I do that? What do you think, folks? So I need it to be there. Two inches off. There. Let me get some old scissors and try it, because I can always put some binding round it. I've got a bit of fabric here. It's not the same, but it'll do. What I'm going to do is cut that off, and I'm going to put the binding on, but I'm not going to stitch right all the way up. So let's see if this will work. And if it does, yay. If it doesn't, oh dear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little like envelope for it to go in. This is how I roll, folks. Oops, that's zigzag, that's no good. We're not going to stick fast just because we haven't got a 5-inch zip, are we? No, of course we're not. Not sure about metal zip. It is a metal zip, Lynn. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure so that will fit in there. I'm going to see if we can get around it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the top over so there's no raw edges. It probably won't work, but we shall see. I never thought about looking for what size zip it would take. So what I'm doing is I'm folding the top over, folding the sides down so I can just turn it through and hopefully it will fit in there. So let's see. So that's got to go in there. So yeah, just a little seam allowance on the end. So I'm going to turn that. I don't want it to fray, so I'm just turning. Oh, go for it. Oh, I'm saying the fine to you, so let's see. So I'm just poking that out. So this is going to be my binding for that little zip to stop it from fraying. You told me to do it, Joyce. Right, so I've made a little cover for the end. Pop the zip inside, and I'll stitch up to the teeth but not over them. Hopefully that'll hold it in place. I'll just press it, then it'll stay where I want it. Right, that's a bit easier to move now. Put his little hat on, so I can see where I'm stitching. I'm going to stitch up to the teeth and then miss and go on there. I just sew, what did that say? I just sew through the teeth to secure where I cut by hand. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do, Anne. I have every faith in you. Oh, don't say that. I'm not changing thread colour, so I'm just going to give it a try. I'm going to use a little stiletto. Turn my stitch length up a little bit. I don't need to turn it that small for this. So I'm taking it steady. Right, I've just gone up to the teeth. I'm going to reverse, cut the thread. It's not the neatest, but hey, if it works, I don't mind. I want to get this skirt done. I want to start on the jacket. I'm really looking forward to having a go at the jacket. So skip the teeth, and like Anne says, I can always go in with the hand sewing to finish the teeth off. Nobody's going to see it anyway, it's going to be inside the skirt. Bit crude, but let's see if it works. So the zip's got a little hat on. I could probably try hand cranking it, Lynn, but let's see. Right, so I think it fits now. Yeah, it fits perfect now. So what we're doing is lay the zip guard out with the finished edge on your left and the unstitched short edge at the top. Right, that's okay. Right side up, and the bottom stop 15mm from the bottom of the guard. Yep, pin in place. Using a zip foot or adjustable zip foot, stitch the zip to the guard down the centre of the tape. No zip longer than 5 inch. Find out how to shorten it. I should have read that first. What is the jacket called? I'll find out before we go on. Just remind me. Liz, your same question. Just remind me. Why didn't I see that? It says there. Zip longer than 5 inch, find out how to shorten it, tillyinthebuttons.com nest. Oh dear. Right, we'll see anyway. So I've got to stitch that with, hang on, I'm moving on before I've done. Got what stitch seam allowance I said, with 5/8 of an inch. Oh no, stitch down the centre. Right, so I'll just put my zipper foot on. The Benina's quite good for this because the zipper foot still has, when I find it, a walking foot attachment that I can use with it. So I can put that on, because it's an integral walking foot, I can put the walking foot on, which helps for things like this. Right, so I'll just put the needle to the right place. So what we're doing is we're putting that against the edge and I'm stitching down the middle of the tape. And it is right side up, yeah. I am back tacking. You could use a triple stitch on this to make sure it's nice and secure. Remember all them people who come to you asking you to put new zips in denims and things? So I've kept it with the pink stitching so you can see what we've done there. Next, we are going to open the zip, lay the guard zip down, open the zip, lay the guard zip down against the right side, nice side of the right hand front skirt. So the nice side of the right hand front skirt, that's, well, this is the right hand, yeah. So lay that down, let's get rid of that thread. So right side down against the zip, and as you'd wear it, pin together the finished edges, folding the left front skirt out of the way, stitch directly on top of the stitching line which joins the zip to the guard. Right, so what we're doing is, are we opening that out? Hang on. Is that going flat against the seam? Looks like it. So move the left side out of the way, have this straight down like that, open the zip, so move this out of the way, lay that against the edge there, and it looks like we're going to stitch along the top of those stitches that we've just stitched. Is that right? I think so. Yep, looks right to me. So you can see the stitches that you've just sewn. Make sure the zip pull gets out of the way. Yeah. I've back tacked and take that out. So now you can see we've got the zip guard in and the zip in between there. Next, edge stitch the fold along the entire length of the zip, finishing just past the top of the centre front seam. Right, so that means, I'll just have a look. We're going to edge stitch here, so we're going to fold this all nice and flat there, and we're going to edge stitch just on the top here. So I'm going to put my my needle to the opposite side of the zipper foot. I'm going to put the piece under with it all folded flat and everything moved out of the way. I'm going to put it onto a triple stitch. First mistake. Sorry. Wrong, you forgot about it. I knew you would, Sharon, don't worry about it. I'll ring you back after. Yeah, what I did was I put it to, put the machine onto my triple stitch, but didn't move, tell it that I'd got my zipper foot on. And I've just done it again. So I'm trying to raise the needle, to change the needle, because I broke it. I told you I was tired. So we'll just take the needle out and put a new one in. So if you're using a machine that is a bit clever, doesn't always tell you everything. Mind you, it's because I didn't tell it, so never mind. Let's get a fresh needle. See where I'm going? There we go. So just push that right up to the top. Give it a hand turn, and the Bernina has a special star piece that you tie it up with. So right, we're back in business. Thread my needle back up, move it again out of the way, and we can carry on. So again, what I'm doing is just on this very edge here, Yeah, I'll give you a call after, Sharon. I knew you'd forgotten. So far, does anybody think that the zip's difficult? Well, you know, when it's put into different steps. Right, I'm going to back tack at the end. And take that out. So that's where I've just stitched down that edge there. And you can see how easy this is going to be to put the zip in. There's nothing to be scared of. Give it a go. Have a try. Right, so what time? Oops, 4:15, but I really want to get it done. At least the front part with the zip, so we'll get the zip done. Right, next, edge stitch the fold. Close the zip, cover the zip with the left skirt and zip facing. The fold just covering the edge stitching, pin through all layers. Right, so that means we're going to close this zip up and we're going to pull the facing over the top. And you can see how that just all lays nice and flat. If you follow instructions and don't rush, it will be fine. Yeah, it's not, Margaret, it's just a case of giving it a go. Once you've seen it done and you think, yeah, that's how it goes. So now you can see here, we've got all this here. If you look inside, you can see the zip's there, and that's the folder. You want to make sure that this is all laid nice and flat, and just hold that against that zip and put a pin there. Not through all thicknesses, because you don't want to stitch it to the back, otherwise the zip won't work. You need that loose. But you can see now that that is going to hold that in position. So I would lay it down flat. Now it's a lot harder for me holding it up, but just pull this back. You can see how it's all laying nice and flat there. Just hold it together and put a pin through there. Put the top over. Just check that it's still all nice and flat, which it is. So get that pin, hold that still together, and this time put it through from the top. So all you need to do now is draw that shape and stitch along it. Sure, that's what it's going to say. Yep. But not the zip yet. From the wrong side, pin the face into the skirt underneath. If your tacking looks uneven, well, I'm not going to tack it because I just don't do that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is how I would normally do it. So I'm going to take off my zipper foot, put on my normal foot. I'm going to put it onto the triple stitch. This is how I wouldn't do a normal zip fly like this. I would get my chalk. We know that that looks that looks lovely like that, so we would get that there. I would get a little ruler. I don't have one to hand, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to draw a straight line from the top and that's what I would sew down. And for the bottom, feel where the, you can see where they stop stitching there, so put a mark there. You know you only want to go as far as that, so just then curve that line and you've got something to follow when you're stitching. There we go. So now you can see that is my line that I'm going to follow for doing the zip. So I'm going to fold that out of the way and I'm going to stitch down to here using the triple stitch. Take the top knit pin out. I'm going to unzip it so that I've got a bit more room to move. Just make sure that zip goes back, because you need to be making sure that you're stitching that zip in. If I can't do it with this foot, I will put my zipper foot back on, but I'm hoping that I can get away with using this one. So hopefully that's going to go through the zip. Yeah, looks like it. When you get to where the zip is, sorry, the pin is, take the pin out. Put it all nice and flat. I'm going to pull the zip up a little bit now so I can go around that curve at the bottom. I'm taking it steady and I'm just turning as I go. Now I'm going to stop here, because what I want to do here is, I don't know if that tells you to do it, but what I want to do is, I've got that stitched in, I want to now stitch this so it stays at the bottom there. So I'm going to pull this over now, so that I'm now going through all the layers to finish off that last little bit. Off the thread. Alright, so now you can see the zip's installed. It's a good working zip. Everything's covered up nice and neatly, but I am going to go back and do another row of stitching just inside that one. So again, I'll just open the zip, move the fly out of the way. Then we need to do a bit of in fact, I'm going to put my zipper foot back on. We're going to do a little bit of bar tacks. You can do them on your machine if your machine's got a buttonhole stitch. So move my needle, triple stitch. Yes, I've checked that this time I'm not going to be stitching onto the foot. And I'm just following a few millimetres away from the other line of stitches. I'm going to have to stop here and zip it up to catch it all inside. So you can see I've just gone down to this point. I just want to finish that curve. So I'm going to, actually I need to do it this way because there's needles at the other side. So go back to where I stopped. Carry on going around that corner. Just doing it as gently as you can. Don't want to hit the teeth, so I'm going to leave it there. There we go. So you can see you've got your zip all done there. The last thing I'm going to do for today is the bar tacks. So if you've got a buttonhole foot, just go onto the buttonhole stitch, and mine is I think it's in this lot. Let's have a look. Yeah. So it just looks like a very dense zigzag. If you don't have a buttonhole stitch, just do a zigzag and do it really, really close. And I'm going to just go at the bottom here and do a bar tack, and I'm going to do a bar tack at the corner there. And then we'll leave it at that for today because we've done quite a lot. but this really stops it from coming undone. Oh, I need to put my walking foot back on. I don't want it too big, but this really makes them look quite professional. I'm going to do one at the corner point. So you can see there we've got 2 bar tacks there. I'm going to do one at the top here. One at the other side. So those bar tacks really give it a very good finish. Right, so I'm going to leave it at that. So we've got all the front done, the pockets and the fly front zip. We've got the back done. So I might join it together before next week, but I will leave it to next week to get the finishing off done. So that's the back of the skirt, and I'm going to put some oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm going to put some bar tacks on that point as well. So yeah, I think it is looking good. I'm going to leave it there for now because obviously it's getting quite late, and I will catch you all on Tuesday. If I've not got anything else on my work desk on Tuesday, I might even finish it off then. If anybody can't make Tuesday, let me know and I'll leave it till next Friday. So have a good weekend, everyone, and take care, and I shall see you all on Tuesday. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everyone.